Hello, welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 361. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. You guys know what time it is. It's Mondays with Mello. Today, let's delve into setting expectations for yourself. This is a good one today. I promise you that. Now, there's one mistake we make, and it's we allow people to set expectations for us. And we need to change that. And it's going to start today. It's time we start setting expectations for ourselves first and not letting the world dictate expectations for us. We spend too much time catering to what the world expects of us, and it's time to discuss this. When we allow people to set expectations for us, we keep ourselves from finding out who we really are. What I mean by that is, we let the media tell us who to be, and how to conduct ourselves. We live under this microscope from the world, and then there's also the people around us. At work, there are expectations of us, which is fine. But if you're great at what you do, your supervisor or manager may start to expect more. But then you're not being compensated fairly for the work that you do. That is not all companies, but it's a good amount when you really think about it. When we take the time to set expectations for ourselves in the workplace, we find balance in our daily lives. When you realize that you're doing more work than other coworkers and you guys are getting paid around the same range, you have to start questioning, well, why are we getting paid the same when I'm doing more work than the other person, right? With our family and friends, it's great to have a support system. We all need it. We also have to set boundaries in regards to our closest people in our lives. They may have expectations of us, and sometimes we may not be able to meet them. Does it make us bad people? No, it doesn't. We have our own lives, goals, and things to take care of for ourselves. When I say we need to set expectations for ourselves, it's making sure that we take care of ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. It's making sure that we're happy within ourselves first before we pour into other people's cups. And I've noticed that when I have really long conversations with just friends that I know, even my closest friends and family members, a lot of the time, conversations consist of them being expected to make others happy or fulfill them or do things for them, right? And it's not being reciprocated back. And sometimes we tend to get caught up in so many other things except ourselves. We get caught up in people, we get caught up in work, we get caught up in family, we get caught up in friends, that we don't really take the time for ourselves. We aren't setting expectations for ourselves. And it's, all right, well, for work, these are my expectations for myself. Okay, I'm going to do this work, and this is what I'm going to fulfill. This is what my job expects of me. I'm not going to go above and beyond unless I'm going to be compensated for it, right? When it comes to family and friends, right? Let's just say you're in a relationship. Your significant other has expectations of you, right? Sometimes you may be with the wrong person who's expecting you to make them happy on a regular basis because they aren't fulfilled within themselves, right? Because as they say, if you aren't happy with yourself, it's going to be hard to be in a relationship with somebody because you're going to expect them to constantly keep you validated, happy, fulfilled, and all of the things that come with being in a relationship. Same thing with family. Family, they expect you, let's just say, to, take someone to a doctor all the time or take the kids to school all the time. Sometimes you got to set those boundaries. Hey, look, I can't do this. I can't do that. I have to worry about myself. It drains us. It drains us mentally a lot. And then once you're drained mentally, then the physical part kind of goes. You don't sleep right. Then the emotional part doesn't go right. And you know what happens? You're by yourself trying to figure it out because a lot of times there aren't people there to really tell you, all right, you're doing too much. And I've been someone who has significantly changed a lot in the past few years. There are very few friends that I'm going to honestly sit and be there for them and listen to them and talk to them. I have probably a handful. I'm not going to sit here and act like I have a whole long list of people that if they call me or text me that I'm going to be there, right? I have a friend that I've known for over 15 years, and he's someone who's always there for others, but no one's there for him. And I've noticed it, and I see it, and I constantly tell him, people are going to take advantage of you because of how empathetic you are and how understanding you are and how logical you are. And people are going to start having expectations that whenever they reach out, you're always going to be there. And it happened, right? He was there for everyone, but no one was asking him how he's doing, right? And that's where I come in. And that's where I took the time and said to myself, all right, my goal is to find out how my friend's doing, and I'm going to make sure that he's good and he's okay, and he's going to get through what he needs to get through. And we have that conversation. And then he's realizing, okay, wait, I have at least 2 or 3 people that are going to take the time to make sure that I'm good, right? He has a lot going on in his life, right? He has a significant other, and he has a house, he has a son, and, he's working, and he has his own sports podcast. He has a lot on his plate. And that's just scratching the surface of what I've just said within the past few seconds of what his life is and what it consists of. Every once in a while, I have to make sure that he's all right. And sometimes he may not be all right, but he will act like he is. And that's okay. It's fine. We're men, and that's kind of what we do a lot. So take the time to think about people and their expectations of you. Take the time to think about how many people are sucking the energy out of you and draining and taking from you, and they're not giving back. If you sit and think about it and you process it, you'll start to think to yourself, wait a minute, I've got a lot more takers than givers. And what I mean by giving, it doesn't necessarily mean anything monetarily. Giving means being empathetic to you and what you're dealing with and what you're going through, and taking the time to listen about the things that you may be dealing with on a daily basis. It may not be anything work related. It may be just the thought of, damn, I haven't gone to the gym in like 2 weeks because I've been engulfed in so many other aspects of my life, right? And then you have that one person that will sit and break down every single aspect of your days through time management, because I'm that person. I will sit and tell you, okay, what do your days consist of? How many hours are you working? If you're working from home, are you traveling? Where's the nearest gym near you? Can you get there? If you can't, then are you able to buy workout equipment and work out from home and get some semblance of heart movement, blood flowing, things of that nature? That's just an example of a friend or a family member really telling you, okay, you have to get your body moving, and health is wealth. So for me, prime example for me now is I set expectations for myself. Yes, I do work out 6 days a week. And it's very rare that I take a day off from a workout. And sometimes I may not go to the gym on Thursday, but if I don't go to the gym on Thursday, I'm going to make sure that I get a few laps in the pool, right? Because that's getting my body moving. Friday is the more intense bike ride and, cardio on the basketball court, things of that nature. So that's why Thursdays are pretty much the lightest of my workout days. But exercise, that's definitely an expectation of mine for myself. I listen to music every single day. That is an expectation for myself every single day. Just the smallest simple things of setting expectations for yourself helps, and it goes a long way. Sometimes you may say, I'm not picking up my phone for anyone but maybe 1 or 2 people today. And you do that. It's the little things. It's not anything big, grand, or major that I'm trying to refer to. I'm really trying to say that we have to say to ourselves, okay, these are the things that are important to me. For me What's important to me is eating right, exercising, listening to music. It's just that simple for me. It's nothing too crazy. Those are like my top 3 things. And then after that, it's making sure my mom and my aunt are okay, checking on my best friends when I need to, checking on my godmother when I need to. And that's the end of it. It's that simple. I have 6 or 7 people that I have to make sure that they're okay. And that's it. They don't suck energy out of me. They don't drain me, anything of that nature. So that is what I am talking about. Now, sometimes it requires you to take that day off from work if you're feeling burnt out. It's taking a few days off from work to recharge your battery. Sometimes it's taking a day for ourselves to make sure we're good and not be focused on other people, which I just referred to. Sometimes it's telling people no. When you don't feel up to doing something or going somewhere or being in an environment where your energy is going to get drained out of you, right? So it's establishing boundaries for your own well-being. That's what it all boils down to. So let's start doing more of that for ourselves than other people. It's okay to have a big heart and want to do for others, but sometimes we have to take care of ourselves too. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's my podcast for today. I thank you for listening. As always, be good and go accomplish your goals.